A woman that wears hijab is sweeter than honey. But for her to protect her honor and modesty until the end is more difficult than treading on a strand of hair. Now you look at women. We go back to another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. حُبِّبَ إِلَيَّ مِن دُنْيَاكُمْ ثَلَاثٌ. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, three things he loved most in this world. The first, at-tib, itar. We made mention, it's amongst those three things somebody give you, don't refuse it. But remember also, watch what type of itar you give. You get the cheap itars, instead of this thing, it gives you headaches also. And don't overdo it also. Because everybody is not immune to it. Some people can't take it. In fact, there's a lot of etiquettes to itar also. Certain itar you only use it in summer months, certain you only use in winter. If you use it the opposite, you get headaches, it could be detrimental to your health also. Certain others, you use it on season, it's even good for your health. It's good for the mind, it's good for many things, for your chest and so forth. So therefore, itar also don't buy cheap itars. To your, as obviously in accordance to your means, because cheap itars also, they cause headaches also. So when somebody, instead of telling a person, yes, itar, probably say, would you like to have itar? Don't force a person to take itar. Because sometimes they've used their own itar, which they look forward to, and now you give them another itar, now it changes that whole, he loves that particular smell, now it becomes majmua, it's a mixture of different itars. But we're not going into that. The second thing Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, An-Nisa, wa fi riwayatin al-mar'atu as-salihah. The second thing which he loves most in this world is women. That's how we look at it, brothers. This is where kufr and the modernists will jump to conclusions. Women? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam loves women. That's why he had so many wives. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. His entire, the prime of his life, he spent with one woman, and that too, that was a widow, that was elder than him. And that was Hazrat Khadija radiallahu ta'ala. After the age of 50, then he started marrying, and that was nothing to do with lust and desire. If it was lust and desire before that, when he was, as I say, in his prime, the Arabs were there to sacrifice and offer their daughters, the most beautiful of women, for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But no. He got married later to these women with a lot of wisdom, uniting different tribes, different ways, and different types of women. And from all the women, besides one, all were other widows or divorcees. If Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if it was lust, he will choose the most beautiful and all those women that were not touched. But there's wisdom behind it, and we're going to explain and elaborate. If you're looking at the Greeks should look at women as your play and fun. They would look at a woman as an embodiment of filth. And then after using her, despite being their wives, when they had enough of her, she was taken to the bazaars and sold to whoever wanted to purchase her. This is what they thought of women. You take Romans treated their women like animals, like cattle. And the slightest mistake of theirs earned them penalty of death. They would kill them. Kill women. We go to the Jews. In accordance to the Jews, a woman is not a human being. She's a mode of transport for shaitan. And it is the belief that when the husband dies, she becomes the property of her eldest son. That means the son now can sleep with his own mother. And there are certain sects in Judaism where the youngest brother now inherits the wife. And if he does not sleep with her, when they go to court, the judgment is that whoever is there should spit at him and take the shoes and throw it at him. This is what they think, Judaism. Christianity, in the 800th century, all the great bishops and priests got together to discuss the status of women. And the final fatwa of theirs, that a woman does not have a soul. You go to Hinduism, when the husband dies, when he's been cremated, the woman has to be now burnt with husband alive. We go to the pagan Arabs, Zamana Jahiliyyah. A woman was a disgrace. That when a woman gave birth to a girl, the girls were buried alive. They were buried alive. And those that survived, they used to use them as zamanat, as trust. They're going on a journey. They take a loan from someone. What are you keeping in trust? In case you don't pay me, here's my wife. Keep her as trust. The Arabs. Wallahi, so beautiful is this deen, that this deen has actually emancipated women. It has liberated women. It has given women such honor and status that no nation, no religion, nothing has given such status and honor like how Islam gives status to women. Up to now, we're speaking of freedom, we're speaking of liberation, the West, when it comes to women. They have enslaved the women. What honor do they have? You want to sell a car? You need a naked woman next to it. You need to sell perfume? You got a naked woman next to it. You need to sell anything, clothing to perfumes to anything. There's a naked woman next to it. You call that freedom? Do we call that freedom? It's not freedom. A few decades from now, only now, in Europe where women are allowed to own properties and businesses, it wasn't permissible. It had to be on a man's name. More than 1400 years ago, we had a great businesswoman, Hazrat Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha. Islam did not prohibit her from being a businesswoman. Women had rights from that time. And today, the West say, Islam forces women to be enslaved. They don't have freedom. They are locked up. Yes, they are, but in a different way. We don't say locked up. We safeguard our treasure. We safeguard our treasure. For Wallahi, a woman is amazing. You got 4 different women, 4 types of women. You got a mother, you've got a daughter, you've got a sister, you've got a wife. The mother's love is to show honor to her. That is the love. When it comes to daughter, your fondness towards her. Your sister, your protection for her. Your wife, trust towards her. Now how does the love work? We cannot say, I love my mother, I can go, go with her in bed. No. Each love is different. Your mother's love is such, you honor, you respect, you disrespect, it's haram. فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفْيٌ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. Do not even say uff unto your parents. Do not hurt their feelings. That is the love for the mother. The love for the daughter is bring them up the correct way. Educate them the proper way. So that tomorrow, when she enters into marriage, she can fill the role of a wife and a mother. She will know her duties. That is why Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, for that person that has 3 daughters, and give them the best of upbringings, and when they reach the age wherein they should enter into marriage, and you see them that they get married, for him is Jannah. One Sahabiya says, Ya Rasulullah, what if you don't have 3 daughters, I have 2 daughters? He said, even for that person. One says, Baba, if I only have 1 daughter, for you as well, there's Jannah. Today we say, olden days, it was everything to do with boys. It's still, whether we like it or not. Today it's a big thing. Oh, well, I only got daughters, maybe do I get a son? Why? What's wrong with daughters? For wallahi, they are there to serve you all the time. The feelings they have. I'm not saying anything wrong with boys, no. But why so much did we ever hear, or should I say rarely, if a person has boys, make dua get a girl? No. It's always the opposite. Hey, I must get a boy. Why? What's so great? If Allah has chosen girls for you, subhanallah, there's a reason. There's a reason behind it. And if you can't get children, make dua. Look at Hazrat Aisha. Did she have children? But yet, she wasn't depressed. Allah took work of deen from her. We still find in our societies today the prominence we give to boys. And today we've reached the stage where the boys leave the parents. So they are after nikah and marriage. Now we have to make wada of the boys, no more the girls. And then we say, oh, I did everything for my son. Now see, he left me. Whatever you make dua, ask dua Allah what you feel is best. That's a daughter. You take a sister, that you must be there to protect her. See to her needs when there's nobody else. You are her guardian, you are a protector. When you look at your wife, subhanallah, see to her needs. Make her feel comfortable. Make her feel special. For your iman is not complete until you do not show kindness towards your wife. Look at Islam. Every woman is a gem. Now, you take Hazrat Fatima saying that woman in a veil is sweeter than honey. Today's women are greater than the Ummahatul Mu'mineen and the daughters of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because when you speak about hijab and modesty, no, the heart must be clean. So what are we saying? The hearts of the Ummahatul Mu'mineen and the daughters of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was not clean. Is this what we're trying to say? Because Allah, when He speaks of protecting the honor of women, Ya ayyuhan nabi kulli azwajik. O Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, first say to your wives, wa banatik, and then your daughters. Then wa nisa'il mu'mineen, then the remaining Muslim women. يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَابِيبِ. Subhanallah. Jalabib is to cover yourself. Now I'm going to touch on something which people don't like, but we have to speak the truth. Today we got the so-called Islamic garb, the clothes. Sometimes it's better to wear normal, ordinary dresses. Because the cloak is so tight-fitting. It's not a cloak, is not an Islamic garb. Islamic garb is that which is loose. You cannot see the aura, you cannot see the shape of the body. Today's clothes are so tight-fitted because now it's a cloak, it's long. We feel we're doing justice and we're following Sharia. And then now an argument comes, no, it's better than wearing tight jeans. So I would say that if you're drinking alcohol, instead of having it in a beer mug, have it in a coffee mug. Does it justify? It's still beer. Your aura is still being shown. Your figure is still being shown. You take the hijab today, the type of hijab with all the bling and all the mascara and whatever it is. What is hijab? When you walk, nobody must be attracted towards you. Today's hijab is made so that people are attracted to that particular woman. It's the truth. It's a reality. Today hijab is a fashion. It's got nothing to do with modesty. We must be careful. Now if you're looking at Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala, look at her love for modesty, her love for hijab. It reaches such a stage that on the day of Qiyamah, when it will be time to cross the Sirat, and that Sirat which every human being will have to cross. It's 500 years of ascent, 500 years level, 500 years descent. Thinner than a nail, sharper than a blade. Yes, those that fear Allah, they will be successful. ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. But now, when man will all be ready to cross the Sirat, there will be a voice. Ya ma'shar al-anbiya, Ya ma'shar al-awliya, yaghuddu min absarihim. O honored anbiya, O honored awliya, even they will be now commanded, lower your gazes. Why? For now it is time for Fatima Zahra to cross the Sirat. That even there, full Sirat, nobody will be able to look at who is Fatima Zahra. Because she was so particular when it came to her hijab and modesty in the dunya, that Allah safeguards her modesty in the akhirah as well. This is the first thing amongst the signs of Qiyamah that will be raised from my ummah. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says is modesty. Haya. Sometimes I feel that the non-Muslims respect Islam more than us as Muslims. We experience one of the leaders from the Muslim community for the struggle of freedom in this country when he passed away. And in the Qabristan where women are not allowed, so the non-Muslims is nothing. Anyway, when they had the so-called memorial, the non-Muslim women had their heads covered. And Muslim women that shouldn't be there, although they were there, Their hair was exposed. Muslims. And then we say, no, we did all this, so it's dawah to the non-Muslims. What dawah? Let's go one step further. First lady, the most powerful man on earth, that is a dum-dum, and is the powerful, that shows the condition of this dunya, who blows the trumpet all the time. That shows how weak we are. We prepared to compromise our deen. What is the law of the kingdom for women? When they enter, even if you're not Muslim, you have to wear a cloak and a scarf some places. She was given an exemption. She was exempted. She didn't have to wear a cloak, and she didn't have to cover her hair for this lady. But the same travel now, when she goes to the Vatican, she covers her hair. The same lady goes to the Wailing Wall, she covers her hair. There is rules and regulations which they follow. The rules to follow in a Muslim, not Islamic. It's not an Islamic country, Muslim country. We can't say it because we won't get visas. I'm saying it. It's a Muslim country. It's our laws. Why do we bend our laws for certain people? It wasn't. If it was, then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have been exempted from many things. He's the greatest of creation. But being the greatest, he sacrificed the most. But here when it comes to deen, when it comes to non-Muslims, we bend the rules for them. No problem, you fine. This is the condition of the Ummah. So now we look at Hazrat Fatima's analogy that a woman, and how beautifully Islam has protected our women, that she's prettier than this bowl. And because she's so pretty, we don't take her and we don't use her as a showpiece and we'll show everyone. If she's so pretty and that honor is there, she's mine, she belongs to me and only to me. That woman that dons the hijab is sweeter than that honey. But to protect your honor and dignity right till the end is more difficult than walking on that strand of hair. Allah grant our women the tawfiq, inshallah, to bring about this modesty in them, inshallah, to realize the importance of this hijab or whatever it is. Allah bless them one and all. Ameen wa akhiru da'wana.